gamers, Agent SN, and guess what? Today officially marks 5 years since I started on YouTube. I started this channel at the start of COVID because I always wanted to make YouTube videos, and I wanted to tell you more about my love for gaming and movies and television. And I wanted to share it with all of you. I wanted to for a long time. I thought there'd be no better time than doing it during COVID. When I was back in 7th grade, I was kind of struggling in school. Well, I mean, I was passing my classes and all that, but I was kind of out of control. And COVID gave me a bit of a break, and that's when I thought, you know what, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. So I started making YouTube videos. They were pretty crappy back then, but I've gone better, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, here we go. But before we get there, I want to tell you a bit about me, because it's been 5 years since I started making videos on here, even though I've been as consistent in 2023 and 2024. In fact, I took most of 2024 off because of my mental health, but I came back very late in the year, even though I've uploaded since December. Well, I've done streams and all that since, but yeah. But here I am. So let me tell you a little bit about me. So I was raised to the west of Shenandoah National Park. I moved from out of state about 2 years before I was born. My parents actually lived in multiple states prior to having me. But yeah. So I started with video games when I was about 3 years old, or 4 years old. I don't remember the first game I exactly played. The first time I have memories with was New Super Mario Bros. On the DS. I remember getting a DSi for my birthday, my 4th birthday. I played a heck lot of New Super Mario Bros. On it. New Super Mario Bros. And Mario vs. Donkey Kong Mini Land Mayhem, Super Mario 64 DS, WarioWare Touch, and later on I discovered Pokemon, but we'll get there when we get there. That was later on. But yeah, so in my early years, I mainly played on the DS and on the Wii. I played a little bit on the Xbox 360, but my dad played more adult kind of games on there. But I still played the more casual kind of stuff on there. And I played a lot of Kinect games on there. I had a PS3 as well, but I mainly only used it for Blu-rays. I mostly just use it for Blu-rays, so I only play a little bit of games on there. But there are a lot of PS3 first-party games that I want to play that are on my backlog. So yeah. My dad also built me a PC when I was very young too, and created me a Steam account in 2012. And today I have about 500 games on Steam. I continually buy games on Steam. I got my first PC in 2012, and I played a lot of Plants vs. Zombies on it, and that's what hooked me with PC gaming. To this day, I prefer PC gaming over console gaming, and I play most of my multi-platform games on PC. I mainly use my consoles for exclusives. And then for Christmas of 2011, my sister got a 3DS. A copy of Nintendogs Plus Cats. I played that a lot on there. We would borrow the 3DS. We would share it. And I would play Super Mario 3D Land on it. I didn't play a whole lot of 3DS games on there until 2013, when I got my own 2DS, and I played through Animal Crossing New Leaf, Mario Luigi Dream Team, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. I played through Pokemon X and Y, and Pokemon Sun and Moon, well, all the Pokemon games. I actually got Pokemon Diamond a little bit after I got my 2DS, but later on I discovered the rest of the series. I played through the rest of Pokemon around 2016, 2017, actually. So yeah, and then in 2015, I got a Wii U. I got a Wii U in 2015. 2017, I got a Nintendo Switch. 2018, I got an Xbox One and a PS4, but I don't have my Xbox One anymore. 2022, I got an Xbox Series S and a PS5. And 2023, I built a new PC. And now here's 2025, and I'm looking at getting a MetaQuest 3, and a gaming laptop that I'm also going to use for college. So yeah, that's the plan. And then also buying the Switch too. So yeah, so the first 10 years of my life, my gaming consisted of mainly Nintendo games. I also play a lot of Minecraft. I was really into the Rabbids games, the Raving Rabbids games on the Wii. Well, the later went multi-platform. I played through those. I was really into Lego games, Skylanders. I loved Skylanders as a kid. I loved Skylanders as a kid. And then in 2018, I played through Final Fantasy VII, and that's what established my love for RPGs. It was what made me want to actually start YouTube in the first place, because I wanted to share my love for the game and RPGs as a whole. And it inspired me to play more RPGs such as Persona, the Tales of games, Dragon Quest XI, and Nier, and so many more. And then, but the game that really got me into gaming truly was Super Mario Galaxy. Super Mario Galaxy Duology was personally the most important game to me. It's not currently my favorite game of all time. It was though before I played Final Fantasy VII, and the Final Fantasy VII was my favorite game of all time for about 3 or 4 years, and then I played Persona 5 Royal, and then I played Persona 3 Reload. Well, Persona 3 Portable a year after that, and then Reload the year after. Yeah, Super Mario Galaxy 2, 1 and 2, combined is the most important game to me personally. It was the game that made me truly love gaming. It was the first game I played that made me really immersed. It made me feel like I was truly experiencing a game. The atmospheric tone of it was just perfect. I love being able to explore space, to go on different planets, and swinging the weird mode around. I really enjoyed all the abilities Mario had, like the Beam Mario, and having Yoshi the second game. It was what truly immersed me, and Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2 mean so much to me. It's what made me not only a Mario fan, but made me a true gamer as a whole. It is personally my favorite Nintendo game of all time, my favorite platformer of all time, and currently my second favorite game of all time. I plan on making an updated top 20 favorite games of all time video, because now I've played so many more games. As for the movie side, so I started making videos on movies as well on this channel in 2023. I've always had a passion for movies as well. I don't remember exactly the first movie I watched, but I remember as a kid, well, the first movies that I believe I watched were Disney and Pixar movies. My grandparents had a lot of them on DVD and VHS, so I watched a lot of them there. And I think every Pixar movie on DVD up to WALL-E, so I watched all of them there. Well, I think they're missing A Bug's Life, but I watched that in school somewhere else. I watched that in school, I think, like the last day of school in 3rd grade. That's when I watched it. And I would later see the rest of the Pixar movies in theaters or on Disney Plus or whatever. So yeah, I remember finally visiting my grandparents in Ohio, which is where my dad is from, and they would, and my sister and I would watch a lot of Disney and Pixar movies there and other animated movies there. And but it was the Star Wars movies that created my love for the film industry. The Star Wars movies created my love for the film industry. I watched the original trilogy when I was about 4 or 5 years old on DVD. I actually have the VHS of them as well, and the Blu-rays. I'll talk about the Blu-rays later on. There's a story about the Blu-rays later on. So I got the Blu-ray. Well, first I watched them first on VHS and DVD. I think I watched the DVD of them first, and A New Hope. Well, all 3 movies, A New Hope, and The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, were what created my love for the film industry. I really enjoyed the epicness of them, and it made me feel immersed in a movie. I always loved the space of them, the spaceships, and the advanced filmmaking effects. It was what created my love for sci-fi movies. So sci-fi is my favorite film genre, and it always will be. And I credit the Star Wars movies for that. I'm a big passion for sci-fi and space as a whole. I wanted to take astronomy this year for my senior year of high school, but I couldn't because of my schedule, so they put me in geology instead. I remember in my old house where I used to live, I had models of the planets hanging up on my wall. That's how obsessed I was with space. I watched a lot of space documentaries too, like Cosmos. So yeah. And later on, I'll get into other sci-fi content like Star Trek and what else? Galaxy Quest, which is a Star Trek clone. I'll get into what else there is. Let me check my letterbox. Oh, well, yeah. Well, long story short, I got into sci-fi movies from Star Wars, and Star Wars created my love. Star Wars created my love for the film industry. Okay, so now for the television side. I haven't watched as many TV as I have movies, but I watched a lot of cartoons as a kid. I watched a good amount of Cartoon Network, although I wasn't the biggest fan of some of their later shows. The 2000 shows I was digging. I wasn't as big of a fan of like Adventure Time regular show, Amazing World of Gumball. I mean, I liked them, but wasn't not as much as some of Cartoon Network's older stuff. I watched a lot of those off of Boomerang, the Boomerang channel, and I loved the Smurfs as a kid. The Smurfs was one of my other biggest childhood obsessions. I even remember seeing the Smurfs movies in theaters. Well, the live-action ones. I've not seen The Lost Village. And there's a new Smurf series, there's a new Smurf movie coming this year, based on the modern cartoon. I also watched a lot of Sprouts and PBS Kids. I watched a lot of Nickelodeon. I was a big fan of SpongeBob. I watched so much of SpongeBob as a kid. And so yeah. Though, I stopped watching cable as much after I moved. After I moved to my current house in 2016, we didn't watch cable as much, and then in 2019, 2020, streaming services took over, and then we got rid of cable last year because we were using it that much because of streaming services. So yeah. Okay, so that's all of my history with the games, movies, and shows I like. More about me personally. So currently I am a senior in high school. I'm graduating this June. I will be attending a local college about 30 minutes from where I live, in the same county that I live in. I will be, I'm going to be a computer science major, specifically the cybersecurity part of it. I'm going to be... I'm hoping to take 3 classes at a time. I might be working full-time if I need to, and I'm going to take some classes in the summer or online. Because I lose my mom's insurance at age 21, and I'm turning 21 in December of 2026, which is 3 semesters in. So I actually live right by I'll be working there alongside going to college. I hope I can make it in college. Because I know some people that with a 4.0 GPA that couldn't do it in college. And yeah. So yeah, that was a little bit about me. I just wanted to tell you a bit more about myself now that I am almost out of high school, and I'm on my way out of high school, and it is the 5th anniversary of my channel. So I want to thank all of you for being here these 5 years, and I'm excited for another 5 years on this channel. Content may slow down because I'm going to be in college, but I'll see what I can do. Alright, see you guys later. HNS out.